Hi everyone, I'm April and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks. I'm going to put the episode number down below because I honestly don't remember which one this is. 30 something. So I'm going to start off first by telling you about a couple of podcasts that I started watching recently. I just found them, although they seem to have been around for quite a while. Well, one of them has. One of them is called Snappy Stitches, and it looks like it's been around for 5 years. And she's got a lot of episodes on there. And I'm going to start from the beginning so I can get to know her. And so far, her episodes seem quite short, so I'm getting through them rather quickly, kind of binging through hers really quick. Very excited. I really like her personality. Having a lot of fun with that, and I believe she's in Canada. And then I started watching another knitting podcast. I think hers is actually more recent. It may have been started sometime last year. And that's called Tales of Yarnia, and I'm really enjoying her as well. Just having a really good time with these new podcasts that I just found. There's a couple of other ones that I kind of want to try, but I don't quite remember their names yet, and I haven't started watching them at all. But though I just wanted to get that out of the way before I forgot the names of them. So Snappy Stitches and Tales of Yarnia. So having fun with those. So I'm going to get right into everything else that I've been doing. I have been working slowly but surely on the socks for my niece's children. So my great nephew and my 2 great nieces. I believe I showed you, I know I showed you, probably getting sick of hearing about these things. This was the yarn, Pandia's Jewels Squidgy Base, and this is the Tribbles colorway. Love it. And I finally finished the second sock. What is this? Why is this acting like that? My goodness. Stop it. Still. Oof. Okay. So I finished the smallest size. These are for Miss Liliana. Super cute. She's gonna get the orange toes. This orange was leftovers from, it was Sundara sock yarn, and it was the spiced colorway. And if it looks similar to this, that's because it is. That's what this was left over from, is this shawl that I'm wearing, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. So I got Miss Liliana's socks done. Super cute. I've been doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I'm really, really enjoying that. And they're kind of scrunched in because I'm doing a 1x1 twisted rib all the way along the sock. This Sundara yarn is a little bit heavier than the Squidgy yarn, so the cuff looks a little bit flared, even though I didn't do a specifically stretchy bind off. It just looks flared because the yarn is thicker, but that's okay. She's a little kid and she could probably use some heavier thickness in the toes of her shoes. The toes of her socks. So there's Liliana's. I have started, and I'm actually almost done. I got about 1.5 inches more to go on the leg, and it's all tangled up right now. This is for Miss Lydia, and she's getting white toes. And I don't know what this yarn is. It's something that I inherited from someone sometime, I don't know. But I've done the Fleegle heel. I didn't mention it. This one, the smallest ones were done 44 stitches around. This one is 48. And the last pair that I'll do for Mason are going to be 52 stitches, and he'll have brown toes. So I'm really looking forward to getting these done and getting them shipped off, because fall is coming. I needed this today. I was cold this morning going to work, so I was like, fall's almost here. I'm going to pull out my fall autumnal looking orange shawl. I believe I mentioned that orange is not one of my favorite colors. This is the one in, well, no, I do have another orange shawl, and I think I showed it to you before. It was the fire shawl, and I had mixed gray, but that was like a different, it was more of a pinky peach orange, where this is like pumpkin orange. This is orange. So what this is the Titania shawl, or Titania, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, by Kate Poe. And it was a really cool idea for a shawl. She did a triangular shawl, which would have two small triangles with the dividing spine. She did also the options for a 3 triangle and a 4 triangle. I chose to do the 3 triangle because it was a shape that I had never done before, and I thought, oh, that'll be interesting. So I use this Tribbles yarn for the top part, and it's huge. This shawl came out huge because I just kind of kept going. And obviously I only used a little bit of the Tribbles because I had about, this was originally 100-gram skein, and I had about maybe 75 grams left, so I didn't use hardly any of it. But it was made on a US 7 needles, so it's very drapey, very open, almost, well, it is see-through. I can totally see you all through that. And then the Sundara yarn on the bottom. So I said it was a 3 triangle shawl, so that gave me a flat bottom edge, and I am enjoying it. I really enjoyed making it so much, and I love the way that the shape just sits on my shoulders. It doesn't slide off because I do wear my shawls over my shoulders. This, I don't know if you can see it on screen, but there is a distinct difference. You can see where I had the 2 different skeins of this sock yarn, and there is a line. I didn't notice it while I was knitting. It wasn't until I had gotten it off the blocking mats and I wore it and I saw it in the mirror that there was a difference between the 2 skeins, which it doesn't bother me. I'm fine with it, and I wasn't gonna take it out. And I've worn this quite a bit, so it probably needs to be reblocked, but I do like it, even though it's orange, and orange is not my favorite thing. When I think of fall, I think of this one. So this is what I've been wearing the last couple of days, and I am so loving it. I'm loving the crispness in the air in the mornings. It's just so, fall is my favorite season. I love it. I can't wait when it gets further along, and all along the river, all of the trees are going to start. It's what we call the bosque area. A lot of cottonwood trees all there on either side of the river, and they're going to start changing color. So we're going to have some beautiful greens and golds and reds just changing and just making that whole area look amazing. It's my favorite time of the year, and I love driving through there just so that I can see all of the leaves changing. Love it so much. So, I almost dropped it. So I'm working on this. I'm hoping to get these done by the end of the month, because these were my Brown Baggy Knit Sock Club choices for August. And then I've already chosen my September yarn for Brown Baggy Knit Sock Club. And actually it was only 1 yarn, but I'm choosing to add a second yarn to it. This is the yarn that I pulled out, and it's a leftover yarn. Well, kind of leftover. I had started another pair of socks with this. This is Nerd Girl Yarns, and this is her colorway called sorry, I totally spaced it. I'm gonna have to put it here because it's kind of a long one. It's a Divergent, the movie and the book Divergent. It's a quote from there. chin up, eyes open, smiles on, or something along those lines. Super cute. I love it. It's just this pale minty green and a soft dove gray variegated yarn. And I had started another pair of socks with these a while back, but I didn't like how that was turning out because it was highly cabled and I just wasn't loving it. So I had pulled it out and it's all wound up, all funky, but it's all there. I decided I want to pair this with this rusty color. And this is 3 Irish Girls Adorn base, and it's called Cognac. I love it. It does look like whiskey. Is cognac a whiskey? I don't know. I don't know what my alcohols are, but it's beautiful. And I know that they are completely different. This is more of a cool color, and this is definitely warm, but I think they're gonna look good together. And what I want to do, Joji Locatelli is doing her yearly fall knit along. So I've never participated in that before. I just found out about it. I must have been living under a rock or something, because apparently she's been doing this for many, many years. So I want to get in on that this year, and I want to do her 2-color socks that she just came out with recently. And I'm thinking this is going to be the main color, and this is going to be the color that's on the cuffs and toes. Super, super excited. I think that the cool and the warm colors are going to make a nice, lovely contrast. Oh, that looks better. And this is, the colors on this variegated yarn are subtle enough that the one little section in the sock pattern that has lace, I don't think it's gonna distract from it too much. It's not gonna get lost. It's the variegated colors are very pale, very similar in tone, that it's not gonna, you know, it's not something wildly and highly variegated that it's gonna really make a difference. So I'm really liking the pairing, and I'm super, super, super excited. This one is balled up because I've tried so many times to find patterns that I want to do with this, and it's not that I don't like it with anything, it's that I like it with everything, and I keep being very indecisive of what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do it this time. I found a pattern that I'm going to do. So that's that. That's going to be my Brown Bag in a Sock Club for September, and Joji's Knit Along starts September 1st, so it totally works out. Super excited. And then, by the way, if you didn't know, right now Joji's got a sale going on. I think it's 25% off of her self-published patterns for this knit along, so that's exciting. Something else that I've been working on, and this is the reason why I'm still not done with those tiny little socks, is my knitted patchwork blanket. I added, I think I did 1, 2, I have them marked with stitch markers, which ones I just added. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 squares. I've added 13 squares since the last time I showed it. And then it's probably going to sit for a little while until I get a few more patterns done, because so far I've used up all my minis that I've already got once in this. I still have some leftovers, some more leftovers of the same colors, but they're super itty bitty. I call them super minis. These are all less than 2 grams. They're super tiny, itty bitty. I am saving these because, like I said before, I'm going to use up every single inch of yarn that I have because they're beautiful and they're not cheap. So I'm gonna find something to make with this, with all of these minis. I'm thinking that I want to do. It's called, shoot, it's a scrappy cowl, and it's knit, it's all stockinette, and it's knit in the round as a long tube, a very narrow tube, so you're not going to wear your head like through the tube. It's going to be closed up, so you're going to have like a double thickness. I'm going to have to put the name here. Gosh, what was it? It's going to drive me crazy that I can't remember it. But it's just using up your all your leftover yarns, and you kind of just tie them in a knot, and the knots stay on the inside, so you don't even have to tuck in all those ends because it's knit in a tube. You're going to just keep everything up on the inside. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm calling all these itty bitty balls my super minis. And I've been storing them in this mug. It's adorable. I got this when I went to the one and only knitting retreat that I've ever been on a couple years ago. I went to Vermont to a knitting retreat hosted by Donna Drukenis. Excuse me, I got fluff in my nose. And I think I mentioned this before. Maybe I haven't, I don't know. But I went to Vermont. It's one of the few times that I've ever traveled by myself, ever. I went all the way to Vermont a couple summers ago in June. It was June when I went, and so pretty up there. I'd never been to that part of the country. I just loved it. And the knitting retreat was about Civil War era knitting patterns, and interpreting some of those old patterns and how to do that, because they were written very differently than the way they are today. So it was really, really exciting. Well, we were staying in a bed and breakfast, and there was a local potter had some of their stuff on display there in the bed and breakfast for sale, and I had to get it. And I apologize, I don't have the tag anymore of the name of the potter, but I love it. Look, all these cute little swirls and cat paws, and you have this handle that is the cat just peeking into your mug. And I'm sure I could drink coffee out of this, but I can't bring myself to do it, so I've just been throwing all my super minis in there, all of the ones that are less than 2 grams, because anything more than 2 grams I could definitely fit in this, in the memory blanket. So yeah, I'm still trying to get organized with all my yarn and everything, and I've decided I'm going to put super minis in the kitty mug, and then I've got plans for anything between 5 and 3 grams that can go into the blanket. Anything between 20 and 10 I can use as socks, toes, and cuffs for socks, and socks, toes, and cuffs, heels, toes, and cuffs for socks. And and then you get the bigger 20 gram minis that really aren't minis. That's a lot of yarn. I can totally make something bigger out of that. So I'm trying to like keep things super organized, so I always know where I want to go. Oh, I need something for toes, I know which container to look in. Or oh, I got a super mini, I'm gonna throw it in my mug so that I can make that scrappy cowl. So I'm trying to keep everything super organized, and who knows how long that's gonna last, but for now that's my plan. So last time I was here talking with y'all, spending some quality time, I talked about a bunch of orders that I made, because I went off the deep end and ordered a whole bunch of yarn. I wasn't sure if any of it was going to be in by today, but it is. All of it came in. I was very surprised about that, so yay. Everything showed up rather quickly. So the first thing I'm going to show you is yarn that I got from Knit Picks, and this is all lace weight yarn, and I did buy 3 different colors, each in sweater quantities. So I got 6 skeins each. And these are the Knit Picks Shadow yarn. And this is a lace weight, 440 yards for 50 grams. Oh, there it is. This one is Reed Heather. Very pretty. It's like a Actually, it looks more sagey on the screen here, but it's more of like a grassy green in real life. It's odd. Not picking it up the right way at all. It's a more bright green. This kind of looks pale and washed out on camera, but beautiful, beautiful. Let's see how this one looks. This is called Opal Heather. And that's looking right. It's like a grayish, bluish color. They're all heathered, so you can see there's a mixture of colors inside. So you see grays and blues in there. This is pretty spot on as far as the color goes. Again, 6 skeins of that as well. And then the other one that I got is the focus Raspberry Heather. And this one is looking quite pink on here, but it's really more of a mauvey purpley color with some gray thrown in there. So yeah, this isn't really showing true on here either, but I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna get 3 different sweaters, and even together, if I had leftovers, it would make a beautiful cowl with all 3 of these colors together. So we'll see how much leftover I end up with, but I'm super excited. So I got my Knit Picks order. That's actually the one I was worried I wasn't gonna get right away. And then the other order, I'll save that one for last because that's huge. I got this one from Pandia's Jewels. I love Miss Julia so much. She is like my spirit animal. She just, everything she does, I fall in love with. So I got 2 more skeins for her snug base. I don't even know which one to show you first. I'm so excited about it. This one is Lollybrock. There it is. And oh my God, I love it. Teals and greens and black and blues. Oh, look at that blue. Look at it. Look at it. So many different shades of green in here. Some paler than others. It's just beautiful. And from what I understand, this is a new take on the same colorway that she dyed a while back. I believe that this is something that she dyed for the Outlander TV series. And the other color was more variegated as opposed to speckled. Same colors, they were just arranged in a different way in the skein. But she envisioned it and came up with this, and I adore it. And I'm in love. So I got the Lollybrock. And the other color that I got, and I actually got it to pair with Lollybrock, even though this color is not in the speckled skein, I got a semi-solid of Lilac Whisper. And she's, I guess this is a one of a kind. I don't know how many of these she had, but it's a semi-solid tonal purple that makes me feel like royalty. It's so pretty. It's just, I love it. And like I said, this purple is not anywhere in the Lollybrock, but I think that they go amazingly well together because of these blues. These are definitely going to be something together, and it's going to be a shawl. I don't know which shawl, but it's definitely going to be something together. And if I'm lucky, I'm going to have leftovers for socks. So yay, Pandia's Jewels. Thank you very much. Oh, and she sent me a gift. Every now and then she throws in little surprises, and I got a sample from her. I love her card. She does these little Doodle Girls. She draws that, and sometimes I think she's got like other little versions of these Doodle Girls on her website. You can even get like prints and pins, I think. She's very talented doodler. And she did this as well. This is a pin. Cute little, where's her focus? It's adorable. Come on. It's not gonna do it. There she is. Cute little sheep. And I think she's got a bunch of these little sheep pins, and they're different. Like now that fall is coming up, they have little yellow and orange and green leaves all over it in the wool. Super cute. So she sent me the pin, and then the sample that she sent me is her shimmer base in the colorway Shadows, and it's this deep burgundy with black, and look at the sparkle on that. Oh, can you get it? There it is. Ah, super small. This is only 10 yards. This, I'm hoping I have enough to put this in my memory blanket. I don't know, but I'm super excited. It's gonna go into either the super mini jar or super mini mug, or it's going to my blanket. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm in love. And then the last order that I received was from Expression Fiber Arts, and I believe I told you last time that I just recently started following her on Instagram. That's where I saw her, and she does a lot of silk. Everything that I have here has silk in it. I'm gonna go with the first one. She did kind of, I think, as a special. This one is called Ode to a Butterfly, and it's beautiful greens and browns and teals, aquas on this really pretty cream base. This is superwash merino and silk. It's fingering weight. Beautiful. And she sent along with that, this was, oh, rats, I dropped it. Hold on. She sent a stitch marker along with it, a butterfly stitch marker to go along with that. Super cute. I don't know if she makes those. I don't believe so. I can't read this. Oh, Crafty Cat Knitty Bits off of Etsy is who made this cute little butterfly stitch marker. So she sent that along with her Ode to a Butterfly silk merino yarn. Super happy, super thrilled. I got another yarn in the same base, and this one is called Calliope. So there's the card for that one. And this color, ooh, she does some amazing photographs that show you, I'm assuming it's her inspiration for how she dyed these yarn, for her, how she dyed her yarns. And the photograph for this one had a hummingbird on it, and color matching was amazing. On all her photographs show these amazing photos that she's drawn inspiration from for dyeing, and the color matching between the yarn and the photos is spot on. God, this is so pretty though. I love it so much. So yeah, that is Calliope, also on the pearlescent base. Then I got a different base, also in two different colors. This is the Cash Silk Socket, 75% superwash wool, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. So this one is called, I don't know how to pronounce this one, Kohlrabi. And look at that. So pretty. This one is definitely not as shiny as the pearlescent base, but look at those colors. It's just fabulous. Ugh, love it. Now this is called a sock yarn. I don't know about knitting socks with cashmere and silk. I imagine the silk would make it nice and strong, but I don't know that I could just hide cashmere and silk in my shoes. So that was the Kohlrabi colorway. I got another one in the same base, the Cash Sock. This one, I can't even remember this one. She didn't put a thing. I'll have to look it up because I have it on my Ravelry already, but I don't remember right at this particular moment. But look at how pretty these pastels are. Blues and greens and Bobbie purples, creams. Oh, it's so pretty. Ooh. And again, I can't see myself hiding this in a sock. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe together, maybe not. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do with them. It was total impulse buy. Yay me. And then the last thing I got, and this is definitely going to be a shawl or a cowl. This is 100% Bahati silk yarn. I'm lying. It's called Bahati. That's her base. But it's 100% mulberry silk. And this is the colorway Gray Owl. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love. I am so in love. It's almost like a purpley gray. Like here is like a purpley gray. This is like a charcoal gray. Like the tonal depth in this yarn. Look at even right there is like almost more like a silvery gray. Like why is it so beautiful? This is definitely going to be something like a cowl or a shawlette. They're only 250 yards each, so this is 500 yards. I could probably get a decent size shawl out of this, and this is a sport weight. Very excited about that. So I've got all my orders in, all my deliveries have arrived. I don't have anything else except for the one last Indie Untangled that I should be getting in November from that subscription. That'll be my last for now. I'm not gonna say ever. But as far as in the near future, as far as I can predict, I'm not getting any more yarn. Now, this last thing I'm going to show you is crochet, and it is a bunch of random yarns that I don't know what they are. They're definitely not wool. I think they're cotton. They don't feel like acrylic. I had a bunch of random balls. This is just some of them. I've already started using it, and I'm just making a bag, just a simple little bag. I started with the foundation chain, and I single crocheted across one edge of it, and then I turned it and started crocheting back the other way, and then just spiraling all the way up, and changing wherever the yarn ends, so be it. And then I just add the next color, and I'm just going up. Whenever I run out of this, that will be the height of my bag. And then these two, I'm gonna make. I saw a bag on somebody's Instagram, I think, or maybe it was one of the podcasts. But it had it was obviously a bigger bag. It was like a project bag, but it had one handle that was significantly shorter than this longer handle. But what they did was to close the bag when they weren't using whatever was inside, they put the longer loop through the shorter loop and kind of pulled it up and cinched it, and that's how it closes up. So that's kind of the idea that I got for this. This might barely just hold one sock in progress. I do like making socks on my 9-inch circulars. So I'm thinking I could use this for that if it's, I'm sure, I think it'll be big enough. It's definitely wide enough. I just don't know how tall this is going to end up being. But I think it'll work with the way the handles are. I'm just kind of winging it and just playing around with it. Really trying to get rid of this yarn. I've had this yarn for years and I don't really ever know what to do with it. Mostly because I don't really know what it is. But I finally decided to grab my, what is this? Oh, I need my glasses. I still need my glasses. 4.25 millimeter, which is a USG hook on, let's see, is that gonna focus? And this was that's upside down. The Boy brand This is what I learned to crochet with. And this is my favorite. I've tried other brands like Susan Bates and whatever other brands are out there. These are the ones that I constantly return to. I love the shape of the hook. I love how it feels in my hand. I'm just used to it. I've noticed that the Susan Bates ones are a little bit flatter here on the hook part of it, and I just don't like it. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it. I just don't feel comfortable with it. This is the one that I like. So that's what I'm working on, and little by little, I think I'm probably gonna get this little bag done this week, and I'll show you all if my experiment works, if I can have like a single sock pouch by the time I'm done with it. So that's everything. Other than some Aggie news, Aggie, I'm sure you've seen her a million times on my, well, maybe not a million times, but she does tend to show up every now and then in my videos. She's my cat. She is 15 years old. She just turned 15, and she's starting to show her age a little bit in that jumping off the bed seems to be getting harder and harder for her. It's just, she's not as graceful. She doesn't, you know, just all softly land and take off. She just kind of plumps onto the floor, and it's gotten pretty bad to where I'm starting to worry that she's going to hurt herself. So this last time that I took her to the vet, I spoke to them about it, and they did give me a trial of some medicine, like it's not a medicine, it's more like a dietary supplement to help to ease her with joint. But they also said to get her, she does take senior cat vitamins, and to make sure that she has glucosamine as well. So we're both taking glucosamine supplements now for our old and achy joints. So me and my cat are growing old together. But yeah, she's getting old, and jumping down is hard for her. She can totally jump up just fine. She gets up there and she does it gracefully going up, but going down she just kind of plops onto the floor, and makes me sad. I did buy her some cat stairs. She kind of looks at those like, that's weird, why is that in my way, kind of thing. She hasn't used them yet. I'm not trying to force her. I'm just kind of leaving them there, and maybe it'll occur to her at some point, oh, well, I'm going to try this. I don't want to scare her from not using them by demanding she get on those and, you know, constantly putting her there. So she's a very cranky cat, and I have to kind of use reverse psychology on her. Let her think it was her idea to start going down the stairs that have been sitting there. So that's what I'm doing. So that's a little bit of Aggie news. That's all I got for you guys right now. I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what I'm gonna make for dinner, and I will see you all hopefully next week. I hope that your week is fruitful and full of smiles, and have a good night. Bye.